After a resurgent performance by Condiment Kings and Serpent Spears in the A-League, we turn back to the B-League for the second half of the B-League, beginning with the classic sprint race downhill drag. In the last B-League event, Team Sunrise and the Popsicles, two relegated teams from last season, took the top 2 spots and have vaulted well out of the relegation zone, while Rosemary's assumed P1 from the Quantum Tunnels.
So we go on to another classic event in Tour de Endurance, the downhill drag. The sprint event where these marbles go at speeds faster than we ever see in the season. You can see the Expedition pre-show teams showing us how it's done, and we saw in the A-League version of this event, you can really get tripped up by some of the bumps in this longer edition of this course. And we can see one of the Expedition teams really just got caught up, just could not finish the course. All of their momentum completely got arrested there. So that is an imminent danger that these teams are facing.
Indeed, it is only slightly longer, but the backspin you get from just coming down the ramp can also really mess you up when you even just start the race. So there's always danger in this sprint event, but that makes it exciting for these competitors, and they line up for the first run of the day. Quantum Tunnels, Team Sunrise, Crystal Pistols, and the Sweet and Sours. First one to set the tone. Team Sunrise take the early lead, and Crystal Pistols, these two stretching well ahead of the other two, and Team Sunrise pushing across the line. Beams easily wins that, and Team Sunrise and Crystal Pistols well onto the semi-finals there. No problem for those two teams.
Not a great result for the Quantum Tunnels. They had a poor start, also got tripped up towards the end, very slow across the line. Even Crystal Pistols in second place weren't that fast across the line, but the other two could not capitalize. Sweet and Sours and Quantum Tunnels well off the pace here in this B-League heat. We move on to the second one with Team Mayhem, Lagoon Platoon, Popsicles, and the Moneymakers. Popsicles, of course, coming off a great medal, and they're currently in a battle with the other two, but they fall back. Lagoon Platoon and Team Mayhem will get advancement. Popsicles had a good start, but it all fell away from them, and the Moneymakers well in the back and could never really make up any ground.
It was so close out of the gate. All four of them were basically line astern coming down the plane here, but Popsicles got nudged by Lagoon Platoon after nudging the Moneymakers, and that threw off their whole race, and Havoc and Bayo kept it clean all the way to the end, so there was no worries there for those two. Now, Navy Seals, Flashfires, Steel Force, and the Croissant Crew. Croissant Crew in the relegation zone, they need a good result here. Flashfires have the lead, but all three of them are close. Croissant Crew come rocketing past. Navy Seals and Steel Force equal up as well, and I have no idea who advanced out of that heat.
Everyone drifting off to different parts of the track, but all crossing the line with such close between them. Who's gonna get advancement here? I think Croissant Crew well on the far side are in first. Navy Seals maybe on the left side. Oh, we're gonna have to wait for timing and scoring. Who is it?
Ooh! It's Navy Seals and Steel Force. Croissant Crew weren't even in first place. They fell back to third in basically the last milliseconds of that race. And oh, they're going to be kicking themselves after that one. Another close miss for the Croissant Crew in this event. They might be kicked out of it for next season. But Silly Slimes, Woodsman, Onion Union, and the Rosemarys. And look at this. Onion Union and Woodsman cruising across the line. An easy race there. But championship leaders Rosemarys knocked out in this heat. But the Woodsman, did they need that? In last place with 6 points. Finally moving their way into the semi-finals and a top half result.
Yeah, best result of the season for them. Onion Union also in first place. Rosemary's getting a bump from the Onion Union. That is not the first time Onion Union has played dirty in the downhill drag, but the Rosemarys will pay the price for it. Only 13th place for them. Quantum Tunnels dead last. Season is starting to unravel perhaps. Silly Slime do get the best of the rest. But now we go on to the semi-finals with Lagoon Platoon, Team Sunrise, Navy Seals, and the Woodsmen. Can the Woodsmen continue their march in this event? Ooh, Crazy Chicken's getting a good bump, and they're well out in front.
It's going to be the Woodsmen across the line for second place. They have made their way into the final. Team Sunrise, again, rocketing ahead. And it was Lagoon Platoon and Woodsmen close, and Lagoon Platoon drift into the Navy Seals, perhaps to block them, but did not notice that the Woodsmen were already in front, and it was very close for second place. But Pine of the Woodsmen has finally got the Woodsmen into a final and a chance for a medal. But Team Sunrise looked the favourite based on the first 2 rounds. Now semi-final B, Onion Union, Steel Force, Crystal Pistols and Team Mayhem, Quartz and Allium in their first events ever as reserves, and it's Steel Force up in front, but they get equaled by Team Mayhem and Onion Union, who cruise to the finals, after a rough run for Zinc at the halfway point of that race.
Yeah, it was a 3-marble race once again. Crystal Pistols got stuck behind the Onion Union, but Steel Force fell behind towards the end. Oh, and they really lost speed there. Onion Union and Team Mayhem are going on to the final. Some unprecedented teams making the final here, especially Woodsman and Team Mayhem. Steel Force do get 5th place, Crystal Pistols 6th. It's Lagoon Platoon and the Navy Seals, but there you see our marbles that have made it to the final. 3 of them will medal, but only 1 can capture the gold.
And they line up, ready for this one. Beams, Alien, Pine, and Havoc, and they're off. Onion Union take the early lead. Woodsmen are keeping them up, but suddenly they fall back. Team Air and Team Sunrise trying to make a run, but Onion Union will cruise to a victory, and the Woodsmen missed the podium. Not what they needed. It's still a good point result, but they would have killed for a podium here. Meanwhile, look at this second place battle across the line. It looked closer, but Team Mayhem hold off for the silver, and Onion Union will get the gold. Well done to Alien in their first event ever, and Team Sunrise 2 medals on the bounce now in the B League. They're not getting relegated again, and they're making a statement about it.
Absolute heartbreak for the Woodsmen. Of course, it is their best result of the season, but after having a good start in that final, they will just barely miss out. But still, well done to our podium finishers.
And now Onion Union actually take the lead from 4th up to 1st. 11 points clear of the Rosemaries. Team Sunrise into 3rd and down in the bottom. Woodsmen do start to make moves out of the relegation zone, but they still have a lot of work to do when we come back to the B League. But first we go back to the A League for Event 11 block bumping.